Good morning, happy May everyone. How is everyone doing this lovely Saturday? I hope everyone's had a fabulous week. I hope everyone's looking forward to a very relaxing, do nothing kind of weekend. We've got some glorious folks already in this morning. Right off the bat, we have a little bit of Viva. Welcome in, Viva. Looking forward to the championship finale this weekend. It should be an absolute cracker. That battle right at the top for the final automatic promotion place is looking good. I mean, we could have had a three-way tie going into the weekend had it not been for that late Ipswich goal midweek, but it should be absolutely incredible. We have a little bit of Grizzly in. Welcome in, Grizzly. Replaying Michael Jordan's career in 2K. Which 2K, by the way? I must confess, I don't think I've played 2K since, possibly 16. It's been a long time. I used to read. It started to go down the whole FIFA route. Well, of the all the online stuff and the hub area and the my career stuff. I just never quite gelled with it. I just want to play old players, preferably the pick and roll over and over again with zero creativity whatsoever to my thought process. Welcome in, my dude. Welcome in, Lester, as well. Lovely to see you. I am glad to hear that a lot of beverages were consumed after Thursday evening's 3-1 win away at Shakhtar. Surely even Palace, even with all your pessimism, can't cock this up with the home leg for the second one. I mean, you might still cock up the final. I'm not going to put that beyond possibility, but just getting to a final would be nice. I say that as it looks like Villa are trying our darn best to throw away our opportunity for the second time in 3 years. Another semi-final defeat, 1-0. We are at home in the second leg. Hopefully we can pull it back, but with our form being as spotty as it is, I'm not feeling quite so confident. We have GNG in. Welcome in, GNG, my dude. How you doing? A seven stream streak. Beautiful stuff. Love to see. And we have Johnny in with the 5-er. With the 5 streak. Absolutely incredible. Lovely to see you both, guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've got wonderfully lazy plans for the weekend. We've got a little bit of Cyril in as well. Welcome in, Cyril. How you doing, my dude? Welcome in, Rick, as well. Lovely to see you. How are you both today? Jabbits is here. Good man. How you doing, Jabbits? Oh, so Grizzly, it's 2K26. Fair enough. You're getting far too modern for me. I mean, what do you reckon? Do you reckon the 2Ks have got better? Would you recommend an old fart like me with 0 reaction speed getting back into the 2K series? Now that the Cavs are actually quite a good team again, it's kind of all right. So Rick wants Ipswich to win, so that will trigger Chuka Akpom's buy clause, and it'll do Ajax a world of good. I mean, that's a good reason. Does that still trigger the clause if they go up via the playoffs? Is it just a promotion clause, or do they have to finish in the top 2? Welcome in, nickname 123321. Lovely to see you, my dude. It is good to see you there. So Grizzly, in your other save, LeBron was drafted to the Utah. I do not approve of that. I do not approve of that whatsoever. Bring LeBron home. RJ, welcome in. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you? Celestri want Rio to win. To be honest, I love the absolute mess of their stadium. That's fair. That is fair. And El Norby is here. Lovely to see you. How are you? Right, so let's do some admin right off the top, because what isn't more exciting than a little bit of admin? During these streams, I've been running the alphabet GOAT. Each stream, we take a letter of the alphabet and we list the players that we think might be the greatest of all time with that letter. And then we vote. So far, we've had A for Aguero. We've had B for Beckenbauer. We've had C for Cruyff. And on the last stream, which is just over a week ago, we were doing the letter D, but I forgot to put that out to vote because I'm an idiot. So we're going to do that right now. Appearing up in your lovely little chat consoles over on both YouTube and Twitch, you should have a lovely little poll showing up now. I want to know who is the D GOAT. The ones who got the most suggestions on the last stream were Alfredo Di Stefano, Kevin De Bruyne, Alessandro Del Piero, and somehow Roberto Donadoni. I don't want to influence your votes there at all, but I do feel like one of those doesn't quite belong, bless him. So the poll will be running for, I think, the next 10 minutes over on Twitch. It doesn't have an end time over on YouTube, so I'll just try and get it ended at roughly the same time. Today, that means we are looking for E-lettered goats. E-lettered goats. So players whose surname begins with the letter E, or whose shirt name begins with the letter E. So when we talk about shirt names, I'm talking about like Brazilian players, someone like Cafu. His surname isn't Cafu.
It's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. You tell me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
You tell me. Oh, DMB, welcome in, my dude. He did want Danny Drinkwater to win, but sadly isn't. But in with the sub, very much appreciated, my dude. That is absolutely incredible. 14 months of it not being the statistics. It's not the statistics. Now, can you let me know, did the audio come through that time? I know we were having a little bit of problems in previous streams. I think I fixed it. I hope I fixed it. It did. Yes. Yes. So there is an early recommendation for Eusebio. I mean, Eusebio is a pretty good shout for a lock. Right off the top, Eusebio is an incredible, incredible shout. So yeah, have a vote on D. Di Stefano is running away with it at the moment, quite early on. 6 votes currently over on Twitch. How are we doing over on... oh, Del Piero. Del Piero is currently winning over on YouTube. No votes for Di Stefano. 1 vote for De Bruyne, 3 votes for De Bruyne so far, 7 votes for Del Piero, 6 for Di Stefano. Oh, that's quite fun. That's something I didn't expect. Yeah, shall we head on over to the game and let's get you caught up with where we are as we head into the final 5 games of the season. So let's head on over here, and I'm going to start. I opened up this little bit of a news article just before we started. Juventus favourite Spalletti backs under fire Spalletti. Incredible news coming out of Italy as Luciano Spalletti's son says, "Oi, stop being mean to my dad." Absolutely incredible. Father, there he is, Luciano Spalletti. I admire the gall of that being a news story. So here we are. This is where we left off. I've played a few games off stream, as we did, but I didn't want to finish the season off stream. I wanted you guys to be here for it. So we've split into 2. It is now the championship group, and that started on the 14th of April. We've got a couple of 0-0 draws there. So against Frem, we were much the better team, but just couldn't find a way through. Then we had a nice, comfortable 2-0 win against Vegard. I say a comfortable win. Pretty even match. Yeah, we won on XG, but it's not necessarily a classic. Then to make up for that Frem draw where we deserved to win, but didn't, we then got a draw at FA2000 where we deserved to lose and didn't. So that kind of balances out as far as I'm concerned. And then followed it up with a couple more 2-0 wins. Absolute demolition of Nyköping. Incredible stuff there. And then we won a game away from home against Sundby as a pretty shit game, but I'm not going to complain. So that currently puts us top of the championship group. We've got nope, that's the relegation stage there. There's the promotion stage. We've got a 2-point gap from FA2000. We've got a 5-point gap to Vegard. More importantly, we've got a 12-point gap to Frem. A 14-point gap to Nyköping. We need to finish in the top 4 for the board to be happy, because I kind of would like us to finish 3rd or 4th. I don't want us to get promoted in the first season. I'm not going to sabotage it, but I would like to stay down here for a little bit longer if we possibly could. And now there's some fantastic suggestions coming in. Well, I mean, I was saying that in response to Samuel Eto'o, which is a fantastic suggestion. I'm not as sold on Wataru Endo, but he's been mentioned, RJ, so I'm going to pop him on the list. And there's a little bit of Christian Eriksen as well. Some fine suggestions. Yes, do get your E-goats in. I'm struggling to think of players with E as a surname. So we might just have Eusebio, Endo, Eto'o, Eriksen, Elano. How about that? Mustafa El Hadji as well. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Now, also whilst we've been away, we've had a youth intake. And that youth intake includes a goalkeeper that's got reasonable agility, reasonable reflexes. I mean, no command of area, no first touch. They're not important. We can develop that stuff, right? So Fatem Baraha there, a young goalkeeper that might have some promise. Then we've got Andreas Haar. Andreas Haar is a centre-back that can't jump, can't position himself, has no concentration. Yeah, so he's going to be great. We have Mads Fire, I'm guessing, perhaps. He's a centre-back that also can't jump, can't tackle, is slow as hell, no concentration. So I'm sure he's going to turn out to be a good player. We've got William Christensen, a midfielder that can pass, and he can control the ball. I feel like there's a little bit of hope there for Christensen. We've got Hjerstedt. He's an attacking midfielder that can't pass, can't dribble, can't move, has no anticipation or composure. By the way, these are the guys we've given youth contracts to. These are the good players from our youth intake. We've got Chris Skoo, a left winger who can't dribble. We've got Lasse Junger, a midfielder who's even better at passing, even better first touch. Shocking physical profile. And then we've got Christian Dahl, who's a striker who can kind of finish, okay technique, good determination and work rate though, so those things are kind of encouraging. I think it's safe to say our youth are not going to be the saviours in this save. So Duncan Edwards would have been. We'll add Duncan Edwards down. I mean, it's between him and Carlos Edwards, right? Akos Elek. I am not familiar with Akos Elek, Norby. Tell me more about him. So Johnny Trotter, not a true evoke, but I enjoy the backstory of Eliero Elia's name. His parents named him after Al Jarreau, the jazz. So El Giro is Al Jarreau. I like that. I love that. That's awesome. It's like the American Idol or whatever it was, where singing Whitney Houston, but singing it as Ken Lee. Which I kind of get that feel off it. Quite cool. El Canoose, great suggestion. Eusebio, we've got Eusebio. Welcome Emmanuelis, by the way. If I ever want to know how reliable AI is, you googled best footballers of all time with an E surname. It did mention Eusebio, of course, but for recent elites, it said Johnny Evans. I mean, who are we to deny that Johnny Evans might well be the greatest of all time? See, El Norby reckons Johnny Evans is the GOAT. DM Basis going for a little bit of Robert Earnshaw. I like it. The animal that is Edmundo. Edmundo is a phenomenal strike. A phenomenal shout. He's a proper champs legend as well. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe 98, 99? When he was at Betis and as a forward left centre. Absolutely incredible. No, what's that? That wasn't Edmund. Edmundo wasn't at Betis. It's Bebeto at Betis, isn't it? But Edmundo was also a forward left centre, I'm sure. Edison is probably the best player that Rick can think of. Edison is a great shout. Another backstory, Andre Escobar. I mean, the Andre Escobar story is absolutely shocking, right? Absolutely shocking. Michael Essien is a fine shout. I love me a little bit of Michael Essien. I love me a little bit of Brett Emerton as well. Those the Blackburn days with their Antipodean 1.25. Let's move that down a bit. Sorry, I had this set on Durham settings still. So good evening, welcome in Dutch FM. How you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. We've got Kostas Elatharakis, nicknamed the Deer. Beautiful stuff. Let's pop Elatharakis down. And that surely there's been some other e-goats as well for Greece. I feel like there's been a couple of good players there. Right, the votes are in. We have come to a conclusion. I'm going to end the poll now. Can I see the poll results? I can indeed. So, with a combined 0 votes, Roberto Donadoni is in last place. With 2, 3, 4 votes, Kevin De Bruyne. With 9 votes, it's Alessandro Del Piero. And that means Alfredo Di Stefano has tied with him. He's also got 9 votes. Sorry, I'm trying to do the maths in my head because on YouTube it doesn't tell me the numbers, it just tells me the percentage. It's a 2-way tie between Di Stefano and Del Piero. I think that means I get the casting vote here. Oh, convince me on who I should go for. I'll be honest, I'm leaning Del Piero because he's obviously of an era that I got to watch. And Di Stefano, I've only ever really seen through the lenses of highlights. Highlights and myth and legend. That's not to say that he's not a better player, but when I talk first team, or like actual understanding, that's how I pass it. This feels very slow for 1.25. I'm going to move it up to 1.5. I also couldn't see the game whilst I was trying to tally those votes, so I haven't seen anything that's happened so far. But despite that chance, it seems like we've been okay. Some not particularly good quality chances, but chances nonetheless. I think we can be reasonably okay with that. We have to follow what they say, so we'll do that. A draw would be an absolutely great result for us. So Darch, you love the Mustard Ball videos with you, awesome. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed doing that. We're about to come to the end of the Durham series as well. We've just got the last episode to do, which I'm really looking forward to that one coming out. Oh, how about a bit of Etsa Berea? Absolutely, RJ. Beautiful sound. What about Eder? And you can choose whichever one. RJ, you saw Del Piero play, exactly. You get it. DM basis, convincing argument. It's Eusebio, that's all you need. Sorry, you know what I meant. Did you get AI to type out that one as well? Here we go. There's home. And that's 10 minutes into the second half. We are 1-0 down. Now, but it's a three-way league table, really, between us, FA2000, and I honestly can't remember their names. Verbiag. So a loss 1-0 away from home against them isn't necessarily a bad result. It's not a good result, obviously, but it's not unexpected. So Di Stefano wins for the picture, announcing Julian Faubert joining Real Madrid. I mean, that is a fair shout there. Di Stefano did win 2 Ballon d'Ors. Indeed, he did. But that's what I'm saying. The problem is it's as much there about the mythos and things. I would love to hear from people who saw Di Stefano play. I appreciate there probably aren't many of you still around. Right, Stojanovic has dropped an absolute stinker. So on comes Fabio. Svensson's coming on into the pivot. And Larson, as our more attacking right back, is going to come on. And we will see what happens. Or can Stojanovic do something here? It's Del Suze out on the left. Del Suze crosses it in. Jakob Johansson with the goal. And that means... Brønshøj is back in town, baby. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Right, 10 minutes to go. Are we about to concede? As that song finally comes to an end, are we about to meet this with disappointment? Knudsen swings it in. Spasajevic to the edge of the box. Oh, my word. How was that missed? We are very fortunate there. Time to make some changes. And it's going to be Noah coming off because he's a little bit tired. It's going to be Del Suze coming off because he's on a yellow card. And let's see. I think maybe we drop ourselves down to balance. The point is a point, and that's always a good thing, right? So did Del Piero ever abandon Juventus to go play in a breakaway league as a screw you to FIFA? No, it's Di Stefano. Fair point. Fair point. He won the only Super Ballon d'Or as well for best football player of the previous 3 decades. That's a great shout. So Grizzly, Giovanni Elber had Elber on his back, didn't he? Yes, Giovanni Elber 100% belongs on the list. A draw. A draw was not a bad result. What that does for us, that puts us now level on points, or more specifically, FA2000 have won their games, so they've now pulled level. But that's a pretty good start there. So only Crodmo saw Di Stefano, exactly, and he would probably be the most upset at me going for Del Piero over Di Stefano. So I think my decision is made. It is going to be, I'm underlining it now, Del Piero is our D-GOAT, controversially. So Akos Elek is a retired Hungarian defensive midfielder. In Hungary, he played for Kazanbashika, Videoton and Diosgyőr. There we go, there's the Diosgyőr link. He played in China and Kazakhstan. He's famous for playing in the Euro 2016 match between Hungary and Portugal. At 3-3, he hit the crossbar. After that attack, Ronaldo showed the other Portugal players that accept the 3-3 because if they lose, they don't qualify for the knockout stage. Fair enough. That is a phenomenal story. A Stefan Effenberg is a fine shout as well. Let's get ourselves a bit of Effenberg down there. We're back. Who doesn't love a bit of Thin Lizzy? I was looking for like Brønshøj songs. I specifically went out there to see if there were like any Brønshøj chants out on YouTube. Couldn't find any, but I did find a song of this like 35, 40-year-old Danish guy standing inside what looks to be like a bunker, saying Brønshøj like Brønshøj. So it rhymes with boy, and that means that we finally have possibility for some celebration songs. So Dutch, you've played one game today, already got FM'd. I'll play something. That's where you need to, you need to save, you need to quit, you need to load it up again and reset that luck modifier, quite clearly. Doing basis, insert the fucking boo gif here. That's fair. That's fair. Welcome in, Adam. How you doing, sir? Lovely to see you. You remember this place, and I remember. Oh, what? Doing basis claims he doesn't remember you. How unfair. So Dutch, 17 shots, 9 versus 6 shots. Sorry, 9 on target versus 6 with 5 on target. 1.27 xg to 0.5 xg, and you lost 1-0. Not mad, but still harsh to not even get a point. Now, I'll be honest, Dutch, and there's no shame in it. Absolutely no shame in it. I think you're a little mad. I think you're a little mad, as is perfectly reasonable given the circumstances, right? Oh, we have a little bit of bingo. Shall we head on over and play some bingo, though? I need to pop on over here and let's do the honours, shall we? So in a couple of moments in your chat window, you're going to get a lovely little link to bingo, and I will explain how it works if you haven't played before. It's a really, really simple game. Once we start, every single player gets a bingo card with 16 squares on it. Those squares will contain things like clubs or countries or competitions or awards. And every player's card is unique, so slightly different. We then all receive the same list of 60 players revealed one after another, and we get 10 seconds to decide whether that player matches one of those squares. If they do, you click on the square, you lock it in. You can't undo it, you can't then put another player in that spot. If they don't match it, you click skip or you let the time run out. And by the end of that 60 players, you hope to have filled in the whole square and got them all right. And that's bingo. And we've got some very, very good bingo players in here. Mr. Grizzly P there has managed to get bingo on a couple of the last few streams. So I'm expecting him to do well. No pressure, Grizzly. And I keep a running tally of scores over the course. So currently Mr. Grizzly P is our leader, away on 24 points combined. If you get the top score in bingo, you'll get yourself 5 points. If you get the second top score, 4 points. Third is 3, fourth is 2, fifth is 1, and so on. And we'll just kind of keep that running in perpetuity. So Adam, the founder badge fell by the wayside. How? That's no. I've got a founder badge showing up on my lovely little interface here. I wonder if there's a way that I can enable that. I don't understand, but I'll see what we can do. But I'm good, my dude. How are you? So RJ, he's not bad, but not a fan of. But fuck you, game. That's fair. That's fair. Del Piero plays bingo. Who could that be? Del Piero. Well, if Del Piero gets point, they're going to have to reveal themselves. That's for sure. Right. So I'm going to click start. Head on over to your browser window if you've got to open another tab, because the countdown will already be underway, because there's a slight delay between stream and it reaching your devices and so forth. Let's see how we get on. So we're going to start off pretty damn hot with a little bit of Toby Alderweireld. I don't run through. I get so overwhelmed right at the start trying to make sure I work out what's going on with all these things. Let's see. I've got Galatasaray, Aston Villa, UEFA Cup winner, Portuguese, Dutch, Ajax, played with Lukaku, managed by Emery, born in the 2000s, Ballon d'Or, Milan and Juventus, English, Portuguese League, South American, Serie A Golden Boot. So I'll run with De Bruyne for playing with Lukaku in the Belgian national team. Norden Amrabat, did he play for Ajax? I feel like he did. This player certainly played for Ajax, and we're going to put him for the Netherlands as well. As Andrea Cambiasso, younger than 26. I'm going with it. We've got so many. There's 52 players remaining. There is no need for me to be panic clicking so many of these right off the top, but I am going to anyway. So how about a little bit of Jorge Campos? We can pop him in down there. We could have put Pablo Aimar there as well. Aimar, I'm not sure if he matches any of those. When did Beraldo move to PSG? Was he at PSG during the Emery years, or was that a little bit later? I'm going to let that one run. We've got Samu Agahoa. I don't think he's on. Yeah, I don't think they won the UEFA Cup with Porto. How about... I could have played Portuguese League, though, couldn't I? Nah. How about a little bit of Carlos Augusto? I think I'm giving that a skip. And there's the man himself, Alessandro Del Piero. Surely he's got at least one golden boot in his era. We're going with it. We're going with it. Oscar Cardozo played for Benfica, so we can do Portuguese League. We can do Wilf Zaha at Galatasaray. I think. Got a little bit of Nicolas Otamendi. Did Nicolas Otamendi ever win the UEFA Cup? I'm going to say he did. Florent Malouda, I don't think matches any of those. Nacho Monreal. Nacho Monreal. I want to be a Nacho Monreal. It doesn't fit at all. Doesn't fit whatsoever. Right, Jimmy Milner has indeed played for Villa. Brian McClare is Portuguese. Terem Moffi. I don't think Moffi fits any of these. How about a little bit of João Palhinha? João Palhinha for Portuguese. Lothar Matthäus for the Ballon d'Or. Then we're looking for Milan and Juventus, or managed by Emery. So Rui Patricio I don't think has. Mitrovic I don't think has. Nastasic hasn't. Danny Welbeck is a no. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a no. Daniel Malen has been managed by Emery. Managed poorly by Emery, which is why he's now at Roma and doing absolutely incredibly. Just Milan and Juventus to go. And my knowledge of players that have played for both probably isn't going to be good enough. So here we go. Kovacic I don't think has. Fabio Cannavaro I don't think has. I'm really hoping for like a Chiellini or Chiellini. I think Chiellini's the only player I can think of right now off the top of my head, which is bad. Biscuits hasn't. Disassi hasn't. Loftus-Cheek has played for Milan but not Juventus. Lindstrom has sat on the bench of many Italian teams but neither Milan or Juventus. Nacho Fernandez. I wanna be a Nacho Fernandez. Manuel Locatelli went from Sassuolo to Juventus. I don't think he spent any time at Milan. Batistuta hasn't. Vialli. I don't think Vialli has. I don't think Messi has. And so we're going with Zinedine Zidane right at the end. It's Bonucci, not Chiellini. That's very true. Very, very fair point. And there we go. DMB, sire. Well done. Well done indeed. That is a bingo. And whilst this was all going on, we had a little bit of Lou turn up. How are you doing, Lou? Lovely to see you, my man. I hope you're keeping well. The applause coming in from G&G, from Johnny, from Grizzly P. Absolutely, truly, wonderfully deserved there. When Del Piero gets a Del Piero suggestion and a played with Zidane card, I mean, that's incredible. Batigol didn't win the UCL Golden Boot. It's sad. I don't think he played much. Because like Fiorentina and Roma never had particularly strong, sustained European campaigns. Sadly. Right, that is some sensational work. Let me go out and give some points here. We've got DMB gets 5. Grizzly gets 4 points. And then it's 3 points each for tied third. That's Johnny, that's Char, that's Almaty, and that's GNG. All getting 3 points your way. Beautiful stuff, gents. Beautiful stuff. Where do I want to go? I want to go to that button there. I want to come to this button here. So, decent result. Draw off the first game. 4 games remaining. I think 36. We've got 15 points. We are officially top 4. Our job is safe. That's the bit that matters to me. See, all good. And no worries about the shout out, indeed. So QT22, welcome in, my dude. Lovely to see you. I hope you're keeping well. Can we play once more? It's your first time and was so fun. Don't worry, we just do one round of games so that we can keep the FM running as well and ticking over. But we do have some other mini games in the arsenal. Sadly, you're only able to redeem them over on Twitch because that's where the redeem thing is, and I can't manage it between the two places. But I'm sure people will, and there will be mini games throughout the course of the stream. So, Johnny, you struggled with picking someone who did win the UCL Golden Boot. I'll be honest, I wasn't feeling particularly confident with the Del Piero shout, but apparently you did, so that worked out quite nicely. People are starting to bid on my non-contract players. That's absolutely fine. We're expecting a massive overhaul at the end of the season, regardless of whether we stay up or not. So DMB, you had some guesses towards the end. You guessed that David Villa scored a goal in the Champions League final and that Batigol won the Copa America. Sorry, scored a goal in the Champions League final has to be the single most horrible square you can have. It's bad enough trying to work out who won the Golden Boot or who even played in those games. That's some incredible stuff there. RJ, we're gonna win the fucking league even if we don't want to. Isn't that gonna be typical, right? The one time where we don't want success, we might actually get it. So Farborg's coming in. Stojanovic drops to the bench. I think that's my feedback off the last game, and then we head in against Frem. Let's keep the momentum up. So QT, it's all right. I'll be playing for the love of the game. Beautiful stuff. So El Norby, you're slow, but you had one mistake. Oh, okay. El Norby comes in. He does indeed. He's a joint second. So I now need to say bonus El Norby 4, and then Johnny down -1. So El Norby's come in and he's stolen points from Johnny Char, Lada Sabah Massey fan, and GNG, I'm afraid to say. Right, we stick with what the assistant manager says. Straight into the next game. I am moving up to extended though. It's these games, you know, this is the important part of the season, right? The important part of the season. El Norby played in the 70s was my mistake. I'm not Quadmo, unfortunately. Played in the 70s is a harsh category as well. Absolutely harsh. Boo! Stop the count. It is. I mean, What was he doing? What took you so long, El Norby? I mean, to steal points. I'm joking. Right, early chance, good block. We'll see how things go. I think I'm more likely to push to a positive mentality earlier in this as we are at home. And kind of keep an eye on what's going on. So Vagueyard are losing, which is cool. FA2000 are currently drawing. So that would... I mean, if we win here, that would be 8 points with 9 remaining, which would mean that we almost guarantee... So promotion is the top 2 spots. So even though I don't want us to go up, it does look like we may well be there. So here's... Unless Frem have something. Coming out wide. Here's Pank to Johannesson. Johannesson plays the ball out wide. It's a lovely ball to Kronberg. Hold manages to get there, though. Remmer inside to Pank. Pank to Johannesson. Shaibu scored like a couple of times against us last. He's a good player. Let's encourage. Let's shift up to positive. Right, FA2000 have taken the lead. We drop down to second. Are we going to get anything much coming to fruition here? Not seeing... I mean, there's been 3 shots all game so far. Pretty poor. Pretty poor so far. Let's see if we can demand a little bit more. This is AFCON all over again. It feels like it. And Born in the X's is so hard as well for RJ. I agree. I mean, there was some where... Like what did I get? I got Born in the 2000s, so between ages of 16 and 26. If we had someone like Lamine Yamal come up, that would be nice and easy, right? But it's when you get players that are right on the edges and you're just not quite so sure. Nickname, you've got to go. No worries. Thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you have a glorious, glorious weekend. Welcome in, World of Warcraft. Morning, nice day for fishing, ain't it? I'm not much of a fisher, but it does seem like it is going to be quite a nice day. How are you, World of Warcraft? And more specifically, when are you going fishing? Dr. Nanase, welcome in. First time live, but been following on YouTube for a bit. I recognise the name. It's lovely to see you, my dude. You have arrived at a great time. It's the final few games of the season. It's our first season in charge at Brønshøj. And can we get a goal just before half-time? Linger swings it in. Hoholt heads it clear. And away Pank comes with the ball. Is this a sneaky little Frem highlight? Maybe not. Maybe not. 0-0 at half-time. Solid stuff. Welsh Smithy, born in 2000s and you get Maradona. Does reborn in the 2000s count? Exactly. Isn't there like Trisha Paytas' baby or something is Maradona? I'm sure so. I don't even know who Trisha Paytas is. I just catch these things on the internet and it sits there in the brain. No idea. That was a god-awful first half of football. Truly, truly awful. But we'll keep with it. We'll just tell them that they're a little bit rubbish and see how it goes from there. So RJ's going to drop your normal Belgium suggestion. We're going for Mark Emmers. Mark Emmers is not a player I was expecting to see on here. I would argue that it's a better suggestion than Wataru Endo, so we're all good there. So Warcraft, you're not just a Viva La Dirt League reference. Fair enough. I am aware of who Viva La Dirt are. I would not remember a single one of their sketches well enough to pick up the references. I'm sorry. So you're staying in today like a gremlin and going to watch the final day WSL 2 shenanigans. I mean, that sounds like a very, very fine plan. It's actually overcast and grim, to be honest. Classic Northwest. Fair enough. Down here in the kind of East Anglia.
It's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, it's not the statistics. Thank you, Bill Houdini, for the resubscribe. 17 months. That is absolutely obscene. Absolutely obscene. Yeah, it's down here in the cusp of East Anglia, about 16 degrees and sunny, which is probably just about the right temperature as far as I'm concerned. Once it starts getting up to those horrible, evil, sweaty 20s, I'm a little bit less...
It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
And, Fabian, thank you very much. That's 18 months. 18, it's 19 months even. It's giving me random numbers. That is absolutely incredible. Sensational stuff. Very, very much appreciated. I hope you're doing well. I think we might be forced into a change here. Tristan Noah is down. That's a bad sign. We had a bad run of form whilst Noah was out injured, and it did pick up significantly once he was back in the team. That said, I mean, look, we're pretty much safe for what we want to achieve. It's just an orange injury, but we're not going to risk him any further. So on comes Porsgrunn. I think we're going to bring on... Yeah, we're making 3 changes. We're going to put Hay out on the left. We're going to bring Larsson on as the right winger. And we'll bring on Stojanovic, because I feel like he plays better off the bench. Potentially. Oh, no, that's a horrible mistake by Heerfeld. Here's Winkle. It's a funny name, Winkle. Raphael Hay's going to get a booking for that, I'm sure. He got a warning earlier on in the game. Yeah, that's understandable. Understandable. So it's just a quick hey from Dr. Nasa. You're on your coffee and chocolate break from your bike ride. 62 miles done, 15 to go. That is quite incredible. Sensation. I mean, what time did you start? That is almost masochistic, sire. Here we go. Here's Larsson to Stojanovic. There, I told you Stojanovic is better off the bench, and if we started him, he wouldn't have come even as close to skying it that far over. Shocking effort there. But there's going to be a chance from the goal kick. Winkle. I'm a mature adult. I'm not going to laugh at the name Winkle. Here's Jay Lawrence. Loses out. Is Hay going to get himself a second yellow? He's not in that moment. Remo into Warnback across to Herholt. Overguard Hansen spreads it out wide to Winkle. That was a disappointing Winkle. As said by many an ex-partner. We are going to bring off the booked Hay, and we're going to bring on Svensson. We'll swing Johansson out onto the left. And we're going to bring off Herford for that little error that he made earlier. And we're going to fire up for the last 15 minutes or so. I hope. You could have said Arne Engels. You've said Arne Engels now. He's on the list. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. We can't. It's there now. You can't do anything. The subscription is a year older than your daughter. What a statistic. What a statistic indeed. Welcome in, Leet Dutchman. Lovely to see you, my man. How are you? Passbro's here as well. A Mustermann stream at this time of day, in this part of the country, located entirely here on Twitch. May I watch it? A fabulous Simpsons. See, I can get Simpsons references. I'm that old. Thank you, Passbro. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Can she bounce a balloon on a needle yet? She better be learning that. She can't even bounce herself. Fair enough. It's a regional thing, indeed it is. DM bassist, nobody says Arne Engels. Now, why DM bassist, as a Rangers fan, might you be saying no to Arne Engels? I wonder. Wataru isn't even the best Endo. It's Yasuhito Endo. That's exactly. I mean, I am going to have both of them on now. So we've got, I mean, to be honest, as many endos as you suggest, it's a quite a weak letter, is E. I mean, if you name enough endos, at least one of them might potentially make the grade. Right, can we do something in the last few minutes? Not from that, we can't. Little bit of demand more. Maybe that shout just ended that highlight. Disappointing. There are going to be 6 minutes of injury time. I mean, we've now got an injury to our left back, which is a little bit worrying because Tristan Nur would be our backup left back and he's come off injured. So there's been a couple of injuries, but there's been like no shots, no anything whatsoever happen in this game. Half the highlights have been throw-ins. How on earth have they got 6 minutes? FA2000 have conceded a goal. Vegard are losing, I think. So there's now 15 points between us, potentially. Here we go. Frem in the 98th minute swings it in. Chang Anderson claims, and that's the end of the game. A truly awful 0-0 draw. That was some of the worst football we've seen this season, and we've seen a lot of bad football so far. So no, Vagueyard draw. That means they are 15 points shy of us. We are officially top 2. Boom. We have been promoted. But I'm not happy with that. I'm not going to bring out a celebration song. We don't deserve one. Yeah, we got promoted. Whoop-de bloody do. Oh no, come on, I can't do maths. That's not a 15-point gap. That is quite clearly just a 5-point gap. Oh. Right, both players are out for just 2 days. That's absolutely fine. So good morning, Hussam. How are you doing, my dude? I hope you've had a lovely week. So Leicester is going to give an early call for F, getting a stream ahead by going with Captain Luis Fernandez, played by Pele in Escape to Victory. I mean, could we see how many different ways we could get Pele onto the list? I mean, it's only what he would have wanted after he counts goals against like children in his official goal tally. He'd probably count every various pseudonym he's gone under at various points during the course of his life. So we could probably have him under. He'll probably claim that his name is Edson for Edson Orantes do Nascimento. He'll definitely go for. He should have been on D for Do Nascimento. He'll claim Nascimento too potentially. So let's. I've forgotten what I was going to say. What I'm trying to say is there's a break coming up. But my brain's just gone blank. There is a break coming up. Dr. Nasse is on his way again. I will wish you luck. I hope the rest of the ride goes brilliantly. Mimicry, welcome in, by the way. What we're going to do, I do apologise for the bad timing. We're about to head on to a break where I go stand up and stretch my legs and poison my lungs. And then I'll be back in about 3 minutes' time where we head into the final 3 games of the season. I'll see you then. Right, and we're back. And just as we were heading off, we have 2 mini games redeemed. We're going to play a little round of Missing 11, followed by a round of Only Connect. But before we do that, I just want to answer Mimicry's question. So, you asked, why don't I want promotion? Quite simply, the reason for this save is that we're going to be getting every player to be paid equally. And we're not really going to be in a position to do that properly until the end of the first season, when the existing squad's contracts all run out and we don't have a big €800 player stuck on our books. So I'm expecting a lot of big turnover this summer. And I think that it's kind of we might struggle the division above with what we've got. We aren't able to change our tactics at the moment. We have no coaching qualifications, which means that the other rule of the save, I have to go by what the staff suggest. So really, I think that promotion might end up coming a little bit too early. But we'll see. We'll see. That's the beauty of these kinds of saves. But anyway, we're on to a round of Missing 11. So let me explain how this works if you haven't been here before. In a few moments, I'm going to reveal a game from the annals of footballing history. And you need to work out which players were in the starting lineup for one of those teams. You will see that starting lineup. They will have a number on the shirt that corresponds to the number of letters in that player's surname. You just need to type out the player's name. You do need to spell it correctly. You can type out their full name, or you can type out just their surname. If it includes like accents like a grave E, you can include it, or you can not include it. It will pick it up. And the way it works is the first person to correctly identify each player gets a point. Nice and straightforward. And so, I can't spell. Let's do, there we go, Missing 11. Today, I am looking for the Tottenham Hotspur team from UEFA Champions League Final 2019. And we have, right off the top, it's Harry Kane indeed. DM basis, beautiful stuff there. Ladislav Almassi gets Musa Sissoko first. That is a bit of a surprise there. He also picks up on Son Heung-min. Grizzly P picks up on Luis. Ladislav Almassi gets Dele Alli. We've got points for Jan Vertonghen. That's Ladislav Almassi again. Alderweireld from Rick from Holland. Beautiful stuff. Danny Rose, great guest there from Will Smithy. Out Farby picks up Christian Eriksen. That is indeed. And Out Farby got Harry Winks. And I think that means we have the full squad. That is some incredible stuff. It was Ladislav Almassi picking up Kieran Trippier right at the end. My word, the pace that you guys went through was truly quite ridiculous there. I thought that Harry Winks at least was going to hold you guys up for a few moments, but not at all. So, well, Smithy, you feel for you. I just went for someone you know is harder to guess. I mean, it's a wise decision. Ladislav Almassi, that was quite something. Celestri has gone for Klopp's first trophy for the club. Now, this is a difficult one. When I say that this game is significant, there are many reasons why it could be significant. Those are not what I am looking for. I'm not looking for Klopp's first trophy for the club. I am not looking for the first all-English final. And why is my brain going blank so often? But it is. Is it worst UCL final ever? Quite possibly. The most boring final ever. Is it significant because it's the 2019 Champions League? Wouldn't be that easy, unfortunately. Wouldn't be that easy. Tony tried to surprise Pele, didn't try to sneak in there too. He might do, to be fair. He might have done. I'll give it a few. I'll let you guys keep on guessing as we head on over to Only Connect as well. So we've got some fine guesses: quickest goal in Champions League final, earliest penalty. Both Ladislav Almassi and Rick from Holland almost at the same time. It's neither of those there. Is it the first time that the Liverpool team played together? Controversial take. It is not that. It is specifically related to Tottenham. I can tell you that much. So we also had a round of Only Connect redeemed by RJ. So I'll explain this one very quickly as well. In a few moments, you're going to see 4 pictures of players, one after the other. They all share a common connection. You've just got to work out what that connection is. Now, you'll get a point if you correctly identify each player, and then you'll get a point if you identify the connection, depending on how early you get it. So if you get it after just the first player, you get 5 points. If you get it after the second player, you get 4 points, and so on. So Mr. Grizzly P has gone for Spurs' first UCL final. Hassan, welcome in over on Twitch. Now, you've gone for first ever Tottenham final. Highest XG in losing. I will give that bonus point to Mr. Grizzly. I was looking specifically for their first European final in any sorry, no, not European final. Yeah, I'm being dumb. Yes, I meant is their first Champions League final. Bonus Grizzly 1. Beautiful stuff there. So yeah, in a couple of moments, I'm going to reveal our first clue. It's just your job to work out what we've got going on here. So this is our first player. No, Spurs won the UEFA Cup in 1984. Exactly, Johnny Trotter. That's what I meant, but I'm dumb. So we've got an early guess. Oh, Benoit Bastard. So first, let me go dodgy roll. So this professional streamer time at the moment. We go 1. We go only connect. And I write Badiashile. So I'm going to award myself a point. I've already awarded you a point. It is indeed Benoit Badiashile. Beautiful stuff, dodgy Rolex. Right off there. Being quick fingers himself, which is beautiful. So can we think of any? I know it's very difficult right now whilst you don't have any other players here. So the suggestions we've got is defenders who can attack but can't defend. We've got left-footed players. Both fine guesses there. That's not what we're going with, sadly. Let's move on to the next clue and see whether that helps us at all. We have this gentleman here. So we've got players have the names of Michael Jackson songs in their names. Bad. I love that, Johnny Trotter. I absolutely love that. Sadly, it's not the case. It's not Chelsea players signed for free from the French leagues. It's not all players that have Daniel Craig named characters. What's Daniel Craig name? Oh, Benoit Blanc. Right, okay, I see. Yep, there we go. So we've got played for Monaco and Chelsea. We've got all have older siblings who are professional footballers. And fine guess. Sadly, it's not there. Rick from Holland has correctly identified that it is Lilian Thuram, though. So we do certainly. You talk about older siblings here in basis. We've got some familial elements there as well, because we've got Lilian Thuram right now, which is pretty interesting there, but that is not the connection. So is it French players from African descent? That is a fine guess, Grizzly. It is not French players from African descent, I'm afraid to say. It's not just as simple as French Ladisaba Massey fan either. I'm not going to be that easy to you. MD and basis, is it footballing families? It is not footballing families. Is it that they are all Scorpio star signs? They are, I don't know. RJ has suggested that it might be all from the Monaco Academy, and Out Farby has gone for all won the league with Monaco, which are absolutely fabulous guesses. And one of them is correct. One of them is very much correct, and that is RJ. They are indeed all Monaco Academy graduates. We were going to finish off with Ludovic Julie and Kylian Mbappe, but you have got a sensational 4 points your way. Well done, sire. Well done indeed. Right, let me work out the next things I've got to press now. Stream main. Beautiful. There's the applause coming in from Johnny Trotter, coming in from Rick as well. Very, very much deserved. Super work. I tried to avoid what's Thierry Henry. I was going to just do like as many Thurams as I possibly could. You knew Mbappe was coming, so you had to kick it before. Yes, yeah, Mbappe right at the end there. A little bit of Ludovic Julie. Ludovic Julie was a remarkably good player. I forget how awesome Ludovic Julie was. Right, potentially a big game in the clash here. I mean, they're all big games in the final run, aren't they, really? Because they're all the top 6 teams. But our home game against FA 2000, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That means that I played the away game against FA2000 off stream, so we couldn't all meet up in the FA2000. If we get promoted, FA2000 need to get promoted just so I can keep on singing Pulp. Yeah, no Thierry Henry. I thought that was going to be too obvious. Too obvious. Our amateur reserve team goalkeeper has decided to stay. He's not getting paid by us. He's not got a contract. He will be released when we go through and actually turn the squad into something that we're looking for. But fair enough. I admire his loyalty. Maybe that will change our opinions. In fact, we can't set notes anymore, so his name is now going to be Jonas Monefeld Peterson. It's too many letters there. Over there it says Peterson Loyal, just to remind me when we get to the end of the season. And actually, maybe if we keep someone around and we offer them a contract with match hire stay and a clause, it might be him, just for that small little gesture. Right, El Norby, you've got to go. Just came to steal Johnny Trotter's point. You're attending a women's basketball match. Bye, everyone. Awesome. Have a wonderful time. I hope the game is a cracker. Peterson Loyal is a nice name. Peterson Loyal is a very cool name. It does sound a little bit like Emerson Royal as well. I would like to see a lineup of Peterson Loyal being defended by Emerson Royal. I think that would be beautiful. So the scholars have been announced. That's fine. Svensson is in our reserve squad. I don't know why they're telling us about Svensson. But you know what? Our strikers have been rubbish. So how about a bold take? Let's put Svensson into the starting lineup for the game against the team we are tied at the top for. That seems like a perfectly logical thing, and I'm definitely not trying to sabotage this at all. Definitely not trying to sabotage this whatsoever. Welcome in, Ragebait. Lovely to see you, my dude. How's your week been? Got anything exciting planned for the weekend? So you'd love to hear the commentators on that duo. Absolutely. The Loyal Royal duo would be incredible. I'm genuinely, I'm not trying to sabotage, but I do think that we need a striker that can score. Or at least consistently get shots on target and not sky it over would be quite nice. So I don't think I'm being crazy by thinking of just chucking a 17-year-old kid into the starting lineup for what is arguably our biggest game. And Stojanovic has 10 goals this season. But Svensson's got good movement. He's got good finishing. He can't jump, but if he does reach it, he can head okay. He's not a good player by any stretch of the imagination. I'm overthinking things, aren't I? I'm doing a pep. We're getting into crunch time, and I'm making absolutely crazy decisions because I've somehow managed to get inside my own head. Let's see how we get on. Rasmus Wadeji is a great name. Espensen Trollson's a great name as well. Here we go. So this manager wants us to say we're doing well and we're on a good run, and we will oblige. We're going to be up against their 4-3-3. That's it. I assume that's Espensen Trollson is ET. Brilliant. That's an even better name. Here we go. Come on. A draw here. What? So if Vaegyard win, they can go up to 50 points with 2 games remaining. So the gap, I think, elsewhere is absolutely fine. Obviously, if FA2000 win, they go 3 points ahead of us. If we draw, we stay tied with potentially a 3-point buffer. Right, nothing happening currently in the opening exchanges. But here we go. Raphael Hay plays it back to Hereford. Hereford to Noah. Noah just sends it, launches it forwards to no one. Stuart Holden, the base of midfield. Here's E.T. Spreads it out wide to Svensson. Svensson down the line. Here's Simonson. Simonson can cut inside. Simonson with the shot. And we just poke it away. The danger isn't gone yet. E.T. on the ball now. Come on, E.T. He doesn't send it home. He sends it out onto the wing. It's a lovely cross. Chang Anderson makes a claim. Chang Anderson, I swear, is my proof for the luck modifier. We had a stream a couple of weeks ago where he kept on coming out for balls and just being miles off and conceding crazy, stupid goals or dropping it and just being absolutely awful. Today, he's catching everything. He's looking like a normal, not crazy goalkeeper. That's Zerachel. Since you've lost out on all the streams due to they are too early, why do we not want to go up? Welcome in, Zerachel, by the way. Lovely to see you, my dude. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the man who is Zerachel, go give him a follow. Norway's finest. And the rankings of Norwegians currently go Zerachel, Erling Haaland, King Harold Hadrada. I'm struggling to think of any other Norwegians, I'll be honest. I'm struggling to think of any other Norwegians. I just don't think we're ready for it. The premise of the save is that every player will be paid equally, but that's not until we start offering out new contracts. So we haven't offered any contracts at all in the save so far in our first season. I want to wait for a couple of players to leave so that we don't have to pay everyone €800 a week. Which means this summer is going to be really hectic in terms of changing the squad. I don't think the players that we get in are going to be good. So I have a feeling that we would be better served by staying down in the fourth tier and having a chance to kind of get our own feel before we go up. We might have Chang Anderson might be doing a good job of claiming the ball, but we're doing a rubbish job of creating chances. That's one shot in the first half. Another piss poor game as we head into the final few matches. Apparently he's proud of everyone's effort. I'm not, but we have to say that. We will switch to positive as well. Let's see if we can get something going in the second half. I mean, I did just throw a 17-year-old in for his debut up front on a whim. So maybe some of that responsibility lies with me, right? We're all in trouble if he's catching the ball. I mean, it does seem that way. The guys from Aha get a combined vote. That's fair. Who doesn't love a little bit of Morten Harkett? Toy Andro Flo's a fine shout as well. We do all love a good relegation battle. I don't. I'd like to not have to worry about the stress of relegation if we can avoid it. So Warholm, who's Warholm? I'm not familiar with him at all. Christian Fuchs is the next F, just so we can get Musterman to say it wrong all the time. Everyone loves a bit of Christian Fuchs. Everyone loves a bit of Christian Fuchs. He's definitely a better GOAT than Torre Andre Flo. And I'm not bitter about goals that Torre Andre Flo scored for Chelsea against Villa in like the 97th minute when there was only meant to be 3 minutes injury time. And probably back in like 99 or something like that. I can't remember exactly when, but I'm definitely not bitter. And I've got past it, and I won't linger whatsoever. Here's Simonson, tries to get away with it. Come on, can we create a chance? Kjola out to Hereford. Hey, just holds it up, goes back to Noah. Noah sends it forward. There's our young boy. Oh my word.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
Goals for Brønshøj. There we go. There's our 17-year-old debutant scoring to put us 1-0 up against FA2000. Are they going to respond immediately though? Simonson with a little bit of a low grubbing shot into the hands of Anderson. We are though going to make a change, and that change is going to see Backett come on right back just because of the yellow card there. Welcome in, Root. Lovely to see you, my dude. How are you, sire? Another gentleman who you most definitely should be following if it will let me do the shout out. It worked. Well, hey. Currently, I assume you're still with Malden and Tiptree, my dude. A fabulous little save going on there. Just skip F for now. You think you have... We have the winner. That is a shocking statement. Shocking statement. There's a while when Fur Fuchs Ake were all in the Premier League. For fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. It took me a while. It took me far too long to work that one out. I do apologise. There are like 10 of them, so we just skipped the first name. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, here's Andonovski out to Svensson. Andonovski gets it back. Sends the cross in. It's a nice looking ball. Lodberg attacks it. And Chang Anderson doing well. Doing well. Look at them. They're pressing high, but not actually with any kind of intensity. They've switched to a 4-2-4 now. We're going to make our changes. Our changes are going to involve Forsgren coming on and Noah switching out to left back because Hold is looking very, very tired. And it's going to involve Del Suze being replaced by Larson. So we'll pop a right back on the right wing just to help maybe see it through. After this highlight, as long as we don't concede, we'll drop the mentality, maybe tell the guys to focus a little bit. Here we go. Here's Backett to Kjola. I do worry about us deciding to build up slowly in our half. We're not exactly a team gifted with technical talent. But we are. We're just gonna keep on knocking the ball around a little bit. Here's Johansson. Johansson with the shot. Johansson fires it over. I'm almost there. Almost there. So that's an athletics Norwegian hurdles runner. I mean, I would have never got that in a billion years, I'll be honest. So Root, you are still with the Jammers, about to enter season 16. Incredible stuff. Welcome in, Triple X. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I am doing very, very fine. Have you got anything exciting planned for the weekend? So here we go. There's the shot. It's going over. No worries. And we're going to tell them to focus as we head into the last 15 minutes or so. We've got one stoppage left. So we're going to bring on Stojanovic for Svensson. Now, I hope the fans are going to give him an absolutely incredible reception when he comes off. That deserves a standing ovation from all 100 people or so potentially in the crowd. So Hossam, last year you asked which team that doesn't get much media attention that you liked its product, and you said Oxford United. Which team is it this year? I'm not sure I have an immediate answer for you, Hossam. I have found myself a lot more... I wouldn't say disconnected with football. It's all lost and clips the bar there. Just that I don't think I've really been able to catch as much of what's been going on in the world this season as I had in previous ones. So I don't think there's anyone that really stands out to me in that respect. I mean, outside of the ones that do get attention, you know, I think Como have been really fascinating to watch. I think that... like if we go back to the Championship, Hellberg at Middlesbrough has been really exciting. I was disappointed that the Wilfred Nancy experiment at Celtic didn't quite work, because I really like Wilfred Nancy, and he's someone that I had felt had gone under the radar for a while. But yeah, no, I don't necessarily have an answer, I'm afraid to say. Welcome in Masodo TV, by the way. Thank you very much for the follow. If you're comfortable chatting, who do you support? Who are you playing in FM? Would love to know. Right, last 5 minutes. Just a last little rally of focus. And that would put us 3 points clear, potentially. Here we go. Can we get it clear? The last 20 seconds. Raphael Hay does great to get to the ball there. And then we just hoof it anywhere. Hoof it absolutely anywhere. We don't want any of that ball nonsense. Then here's ET to Sommer. They're just going to spank it forwards. Kjola reads it. Boom. I've only got 2 songs, but we're hearing the other one again. One 0, there we go. I say I don't want us to get promoted, but we've now got a 3-point gap at the top. We were tied coming into this game with FA2000, and there we go. 3 massive points, and the goal came courtesy of our 17-year-old debutant. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. So Karsten Warholm is a decorated Norwegian 400-meter hurdler, famously winning Olympic gold in Tokyo 2020. Setting a 45.94 second world record, and silver at Paris 2024. He's a 3-time world champion and 3-time European champion. He also holds multiple European indoor titles. There you go. There you go. Karsten Warholm. Definitely a person I will have forgotten about in about 2 hours' time. Rage Bait with a great shout for Vallecano. So Zerachel says, we have a few of those runner types, yeah. There's also Jacob Ingebrigtsen and Christian Blumenfeld. I mean, I do apologise for all the pronunciations, obviously. Sport Mad, welcome in. Lovely to see you, my dude. Lovely. Lovely to see you. How are you doing? How's your week been? Got anything exciting planned for your weekend? Now, Ragebait suggests that somebody should clip that dance and send that to EGT. Johnny Trotter suggests Azerbaijan's Got Talent. Why are we hating on the dancing ability of Azerbaijan or Albania? I imagine that would be equally as good for Austria's Got Talent or Armenia's Got Talent, Australia's Got Talent. Definitely, the Australians would love that. If Australia is willing to send Ray Gun to the Olympics for breakdancing, they will love my dancing for Australia's Got Talent, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Right, 2 games remaining. We've got Nyköping, we've got Sundby, and it looks very much like we are promoted. We need 2 points from the final 2 games, and we are guaranteed promotion. Chances are, Vegard have an away game against FA2000. The chances are we won't need any points, potentially. If FA2000 bounce back as we expect they will, they're a very good team, and they win, then we are up. The greatest Norwegian ever is Tor Ivar Jakobsen, a regen who scored 60 goals in 28 games for you in the Norwegian. I was ready to believe that Tor Ivar Jakobsen was a real person for a moment there. The most fun part with Warholm is he's in the commercial for tampons and the recycling system for cans. You don't want to get those 2 things mixed up, that's for sure. Muster dance for Olympics. That's when the UK gets to host the Olympics next. That's what they get to put forwards as the new competition for that year. Orland's Got Talent. Of course, it should be Orland's Got Talent. So Sport Mad, you're just chilling, bit of FM, and hope for a Sunderland win this afternoon after our 5-0 drubbing last week off Forest. The season's over, right, Sport Mad? That I know that was a difficult game to probably watch last week, but that pretty much ends the outside European hopes. So I assume that for now it's just like the last few games don't really matter, kind of stress-free, hopefully. Hey, now only the Australians can laugh at her. I don't know if it's just my desire to recognize that it's not an area I have an expertise in, so I don't feel right taking the piss. But my understanding of breakdance is that ultimately it's about pushing boundaries and just taking a way of interpreting what you want and expressing yourself, right? And Ray Gun certainly was without doubt, one of the most boundary-pushing entries in the Olympics. She did things that people weren't expecting and seemed to be enjoying herself. And I think those two things are really key. Now, I know that when you talk about the Olympics, it's not really a competition that's about experimenting and enjoying yourself. It's meant to be elite athletic competition. But it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was memorable. How many of the other breakdancers do you remember from that competition? None. I bet it's none. But everyone loves a little bit of ray gun, right? Aesthetically, I look like an Aussie. I will take it. I suppose we've got a shower. Yeah, maybe. I would never be an Aussie though. I cannot deal with their wildlife. There are too many things that want to kill me. There are too many things with 8 legs. All of those things are bad as far as I'm concerned. So wasn't she like part of the committee to sending people to the Olympics? That does bring some questions into it, that's for sure. The Will Smith, you just started your first FM save for 6 months. Aston Villa and trying to fix this wage budget. Leon Bailey is the sole departure to Al Nassr for £30 million. Thank God for Saudi Arabia and FM, right? If you need to offload players, that'll be the route to go down. Right, here we go. So, up against a 4-2-4 diamond, we could potentially, if we win this game and FA 2000 don't win their game, we could potentially be champions, which seems quite crazy. So looking at the Premier League table, Man United third. Lamans really did fix their problems. That and playing a 4-2-3-1 really fixed their problems. And I might be the only person who's going to say this, but I don't think that's Amarim's fault either. Right, here we go. Can we get a goal? Tristan Neuer feeds Johansson. Johansson plays it back to Neuer. Gets it back once more on the turn and it's over. But it felt over the summer that the players that were signed were almost like they were signing players for a 4-2-3-1. And so it kind of makes sense that they now play a system that fits the players that they've signed, and they're suddenly doing quite well. Who would have thought, eh? You preferred Ronald Reagan. There we go. Does anyone know who won the breakdancing? There's my point. Yeah, a lot of her dancing was based on Australian animals and such. Only worked that out when she explained it afterwards, which is not what you want. No. But I mean, the kangaroo bit was definitely quite identifiable, right? Let's encourage after 15 minutes. Bye-bye. So I'd argue she did more for the sport than anyone else. See, Zerichel, we think alike. I don't know if that's a good bit. The Aussie bit's a compliment. Aussie lads do look nice. I mean, it depends what Aussie lads you're looking at. I would say that there is something. My favourite Aussie, as Lestry will know, is Bob Catter, and he is definitely not a looker. Also, he's not a good human being, but it's a bit of a weird choice for favourite, really, isn't it? Well, Smithy, just a shame so many injured, so you can't upload them yet. No, but the second transfer window, just a pure fire sale, right? Right, let's step up to positive. And playing once a week. I mean, that makes a huge part. Absolutely. Exact words that Johnny says as well. Only 38 league games and 2 cup games. Being able to not have to worry about rotation and wear and tear and injuries makes a massive, massive impact. Del Suze crosses it in. Here's Hay. Hay, can he get a goal? He shoots. It's saved by Rasmussen. We can't get to the second ball, but we do keep it alive. Kula now. Not with passing like that. Away come. No curbing now. Out to Wara. Wara lad on the run. Sends it in. Escobar is the target. And we managed to deal with the danger. And the highlight's still going. Our passing has got to be some of the worst in the league. Let's demand more. Here's Dahl from distance. Chang gets down low to his left. Pushes it behind for a corner. Is it not Ammon's fault for not using players in their best formation? 3-4-2-1, 4-2-3-1, it's the same, right? I mean, you say that, but surely if you hire a coach like Amorim who is wedded to a system, you need to be buying players that suit Amorim's system. Unless you're not aligned on that, at which point you sign players not suited to a system, so he eventually gets sacked. And then you can hire someone that is aligned with what you want to do. Not that I'm suggesting that there was a deliberate ploy from the recruitment team to undermine their manager. Here we go. Nice turnover from Hay. We send it forward. Johansson just aims to head it forwards. There we go. Svensson on the turn. Svensson, young lad.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
Goals for Brønshøj. It's Brønshøj who score goals. Inspired lyric work there. Why haven't I been playing the 17-year-old all season? 1-0 up. I agree. That's a good bit of thing to say. That's, I think, the first time all season that I've been happy with the assistant manager's choice for a team talk. So see us concede like three goals now in the second half. Let 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as you're concerned. Exactly. Where are the sound alerts gone? It's all about the fact that the sound alerts came with GIFs that have to be placed in certain areas, and the underlays, the overlays, and I think I worked out that the sound alerts were affecting the follower and subscription noises as well. So I've parked the sound alerts. I'm sorry. Same name. So 4-2-3-1 and 3-4-2-1 are the same numbers, just in different order. So they are the same. That's an opinion for sure. Ragebait loves the dance. I mean, dancing definitely will never be my strong suit for sure. So Grizzly says they did try to cater to Amorim's system. That's why they got rid of all their wingers. I mean, but then you bring in Mbremo and like. I just don't. I didn't see it. I think Dorgu was a good signing for Amorim's system. A very, very attack first minded wing back. They never really addressed the right hand side. Yeah, Welsh Smithy. I feel like Dorgu was an Amorim signing. I think that January transfer window, they were like, yep, we're going to try and get in some Amorim players. I think in the summer window they went, nah, this isn't working. But we're going to give him a little bit of time and see whether he adapts. Right, here, fault with the throw-in. He's going to swing it in. Del Suze with the header, and it's over. Del Suze has been a little bit rubbish this stream, and the last stream, actually, from what I remember. But Hay is the man we're going to sacrifice. We're going to bring on Larson. We're also going to bring off Noah for Winther. No, we're going to bring on a centre back. Let's be even more defensive. At the moment, Vagueyard are beating FA 2000, so this could potentially be a title at the first time of answering. Who would have thought that? Welcome in, by the way, Omuravev 24. I hope you're doing well. I do apologise for butchering your username there. How's your week been? You got anything exciting planned for the weekend? You don't understand what happened to Ugarte. Ugarte is definitely one of those confidence players, isn't he? I feel like without that run of games and without that belief in him, he just seems like he's completely and utterly forgotten how to play football. Into the last 15 minutes now. Throwing deep in a half. Del Suze gives it away carelessly. Toftegar comes away with it. It's Nyman now. He's going to feed Dahl. Dahl, beautiful ball, and Andre Escobar. Of course it would be Andre Escobar after we mentioned him earlier. Not that Andre Escobar, though. It's an equaliser. We need to fire up into the last few minutes. we'd still be in an okay spot, potentially. We wouldn't go up this game. No, we'd be confirmed as promoted this game, but that doesn't necessarily, we won't be confirmed as champions. We're going to bring Svensson on for Linger. Let's see if we can create a chance maybe at the end of this game. Or is it going to be... No curbing. There's Del Suze, cuts it out nicely. Here's the youngster, Svensson, back to Del Suze. Now back it out on the left. Is he going to make a run down the line? He does. Very nice. Can he feed Del Suze again? No, he's going to swing the crossing. Johansson with the header, and it's an easy gather for Rasmussen. Bless him. So ironically, Aaron had changed his system just before he was sacked. Very true. Stability on goalkeeper definitely helps. Oh yeah, Lammens has been a brilliant signing. A very, very good goalkeeper who's made some crucial saves. Musterman winning titles. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, lower divisions, we're fine, right? And ironically, yeah, only when we want to lose. Never jinx yourself. We will always jinx ourselves here. So here's Larson. Larson beats his man, swings it in. Bodker at the far post. And that's an easy gather for Chang Anderson. Last substitution is going to see the youngster come off. He's done brilliantly. He deserves another round of applause. But just into these last few moments, whilst he's looking apprehensive, let's send another lad on. Let's see what we've got going on. We will send it forward. Toftegaard, there are 2 minutes remaining. 3 minutes of injury time in total added on. And here is Ullum as the clock ticks over to the 91st minute. Wara swings it in. Back it gets there first. Well done. Del Suze now. Del Suze is going to just dance around like a tit in his own half. Gives it away. Bodker shoots from distance. I'm going to shout at Del Suze. What are you playing at, you silly, silly bugger? Right, here, Fault just gets it away. Right, Larson can't quite get there. Nyman now. Just a few moments remaining. Is there going to be a chance for a late goal here? Doesn't seem to be much precious. They're happy to play out for the draw, it looks like. We're happy to take the draw. We are 1 point closer. I believe that means we have, unless... I don't know what happens if... Let's have a look here. 52 points, 56. We are promoted. We are promoted. We need just 1 point in our final game to finish the season as champions. I have to sympathise with you. I don't. We absolutely threw that away. Threw that away for sure. Football is a mentality game before everything. I think Man United's problem with Amram was lack of motivation. That's fair. That's fair. Cunha played inside left in a 3-4-2-1 for Wolves. And they thought Mbeumo could work as an inside right. I mean, yeah, but it was a very different 3-4-2-1 for Wolves. When Cunha plays as a forward wherever he's playing, whether he's playing behind the striker, out wide left, whether it's up front, Cunha plays for Cunha. It's truly amazing how big that stadium is for all 25 supporters. It's crazy, isn't it? We go up. It's crazy. But we've still got 1 game left to go, and that's what's important. Oscar Svensson in 2 games has as many goals as Aya had in 23 games. Vector Farborg has had in 30 games. Oscar Svensson, where have you been all season? Why have I've just dropped the ball on him. I feel bad now. Lots of leg room. That's how big the stadium is. It's crazy. The reverse Ryanair. Might as well win the league. Yeah, now we're promoted. We've got to go for it, right? Thanks for jinxing the title. Should have tanked. I wish I cheated. I wish I sabotaged it deliberately. But that would have been unreasonable, I think. Ipswich have scored a goal after 3 minutes, which puts them on for promotion. There's plenty of time left in the game, though. Plenty of time left. Hopefully, I mean, I want last minute drama, right? It's got to be, something has to happen in the last the last like 2 or 3 minutes that changes the picture. And that's the perfect final day as far as I'm concerned. Hey, welcome in, Benjamin, by the way. Thank you very much for the follow. If you're comfortable jumping in chat, who do you support? Who are you playing within FM? But no obligation to. You feel free to lurk. I didn't miss a top 7 redeem. Thank you, Rick. I was going to try and get us forward to the next game. Then we move to top 7, and then there's going to be a break coming. So let's do this in a couple of ways. I'm going to pop on over. We're going to play a little round of top 7. So this is our final minigame, I think, that we've got on the redeem today. And let me explain how top 7 works in case you haven't played before. It's like Tenable or top 10. In a few moments, you're going to see a criteria. It's going to appear down in the underneath the top 7 bit there. And your job is to identify the top 7 answers for that question. If you get the top answer, you score 2 points. If you get any of the others, you score 1 point. Sorry, such a brain frog day. Brain frog day? Brain frog. Brain frog. Is there a more brain fog moment than failing to say brain fog? Jesus. Like, it's a Braintree is probably there. Right, top 7. Spelling matters. You do need to spell it correctly. If it's a player, then normally just the surname is all you need. But if there are 2 players on the list that have the same surname, you will need to give the first name. Spelling must be correct. Accents don't need to be included. So if they've got grave E, you can include it and it'll pick it up. You can just put a normal E and it'll be absolutely fine there. A reboot is needed. It does feel that way, doesn't it? My word, I have been an absolute mess today. But nonetheless, that's why I hand over to you guys and ask you for the last 7 unique Ballon d'Or winners. And who gets the top points for Ousmane Dembele, because that is the big one. Can I see? It is Johnny Trotter picks up Ousmane Dembele. And then that was just absolutely ridiculous. Now, I know it's a relatively easy game this time, but oh my God, that is absurdly quick. It is indeed Rodri, Lionel Messi, Karim Benzema, Luka Modric, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Kaka. Absolutely incredible work there. Zerachul managed to get point there. We've got points for Chacha, got points for Outfarby, points for Pass Pro. Johnny Trotter got the top answer. Rick from Holland got Karim Benzema, and Chacha also got Messi as well there. Beautiful stuff. Hi, wow, people are so reactive. I mean, yes, Matreon, that was ridiculous. Ridiculous. El Norby can't steal that from you. Not this time. Not this time, no. Too easy. You missed Only Connect, unfortunately. Welcome in, Coatiba. Unfortunately, you did. I'm sorry to say. Stanley Matthews. Of the most recent, that would have been quite a turn up for the books, wouldn't it? Absolutely. I mean, my God, that pace was ridiculous. Right, let's go back. So we've got a break that's meant to be starting in about 10 minutes time. So what we'll do is we'll get up to the game. And then when we've got up to it, we will go on the break, because I don't want it to happen whilst we're in the middle of the game, right? It's the final game of the season. We need just 1 point to secure the title. The season finishes just 2 days before the World Cup starts. What on earth is this? They have like 4 months off, and then right the way up to the World Cup. One of our assistant managers is retiring. I'm sure that's very sad news. He does look to have been there for a very long time. So a player for 2 years back in the 1980s, and then he's been at the club for 2003 to 2026, 23 years. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. That is something I'm sure that would impact the fans. World of Warcraft, you were still reading the damn criteria and it was game over. I I need to make that one harder because that was far too quick. Far too quick. Ipswich 2-0 up now. No. QPR are a mess defensively. And that feels like an understatement. For sure. So, there's only been 4 in the women's. We need to push them to get some more players' names so we can do a top 7. I wanted, because of the way I've set it up on the back end, I can't find a way for it to accept the same answer as separate answers, if that makes sense. Because I would love to do one where we're just basically we're basically just going Bommati, Patelas, and that being essentially the entirety of it, right? We don't make changes. No, we do make a change. We're going to bring our captain on. And Del Suze, with his silly theatrics near the end of the last game, he comes out. I think that should be okay to do. So I won't forget the Evo. I've got it written down in very large letters on my lovely little pad here. So good afternoon, Johnson. Fabulous timing. Unfortunately, we're about to head on a break. So we are doing amazing. We've got one game remaining against Sundby. We are 3 points clear at the top. We have got ourselves promoted to the Campo Bet second division, and we just need 1 point at home against, I think, the 6th place team to guarantee champions. But that's going to happen after a break, and then we'll have a vote as well. World of Warcraft, Alex and Nadia has passed out. Oh god, that's sad. That's sad. I suppose I'll have to look into that when the stream's over. Anyway, on that exceptionally happy news, I will see you guys in 3 minutes. Right, and I'm back. Apparently there was still another 30 seconds of adverts, but it feels like it's gone on forever. And so if we crack into the game now, all you're going to miss is it doing the loading screen for those that are still stuck. So hopefully that's no big deal. So Borough are 1-0 up against Wrexham as well. What's Wrexham's situation for the playoffs? I think that I have a feeling they might have just fallen short, but I'm not sure if they're still in with the possibility for it. It's Borough, it's Ipswich, and it's Southampton. Can Southampton still make the top two, actually? Or I can't remember exactly. I know that it was tight. That's all I can remember. So Wrexham are outside the playoffs as it stands, but they can still make it. And so that should be a cracking game. Now the question is, can we turn this into a cracking game? We have been pretty uninspiring so far. It's been a lot of 1-0s, 1-alls. We're not seeing any like big results. And all we need today is a draw, and we are champions. We should get a trophy lift if we can hold on. Or will we bottle it? Because there is nothing more Musterman-esque than bottling things right at the final moment. Opening 10 minutes, not a single shot from either team. Let's do a little bit of encouraging. Move up to positive. So Matreon, you're new to the channel. What's my favourite football team in real life? I'm an Aston Villa fan for all my sins. And you might struggle to notice any kind of semblance of a Brummy twang to my voice. And that's because I have zero connection to Birmingham whatsoever. But my best mate when I was a kid supported Villa, and my family didn't care much about football. So the team I knew most about were Villa, and that's stuck with me ever since. In that time, like I first properly started following football in the 94-95 season. So the first season we almost got relegated. The second season we won the Coca-Cola Cup, and that has probably been our absolute highest high in the time that I've supported them. It's all kind of been downhill since that moment. Right, can we get something going here? Spasijevic to hold. We're doing a very good job of giving the ball away in deep areas, so I prefer it when we're a little bit further forwards. Although that cross was going nowhere, and here's Langhorn, finds Mershed. Mershed skips inside, lovely, sends the ball long to Longfeld Eriksson. Longfeld Eriksson holds it up. Back to Mershed. The support is there, they've got players in the box. Heerfolt heads it clear, only as far as Engen. Skov, back to the player there. Now Pinecole from distance, and that's always going over. Always going over indeed. So let's see, they started in 6th, win and they are in. Anything else and rely on others. Right, okay. So Wrexham need to win and Hull and Derby not win. That's quite a lot for them. Would be good for Wrexham to not go up but consolidate. I agree. I don't think it's good for football for Wrexham to go up. I know it feels like this fairy tale story, how they've risen through the league so quickly, thanks to the crazy, ridiculous amount of money that allows them to outspend virtually almost every team in the divisions. Yes, you've still got to be reasonably good with your signings. You can't get away with like throwing money away on bad signings, but if you sign a player that you think is going to be top championship quality for 10 million, and he turns out to be mid-table championship quality, he's still going to be a relatively good player at that level. So they've kind of allowed themselves to be not as much of a fairy tale as I feel that it is. It doesn't feel awfully fair. Here's Langfeld Eriksson. Langfeld Eriksson skips inside, finds Fredriksson, is behind for a corner. It's a good save or block. I can't quite tell. We're dropping down to balanced. I'm going to shout at the guys. I'm not happy with them at all. Not happy with them in the slightest. We're not getting much. So I think this Svensson lad is scored from his chances, which is all we can ask for. But I don't think we play particularly well with him as a team at the moment. So I think anyone up to Southampton get auto-promoted, but Ipswich are cruising and doing what they need to do. hopefully, like a moment of madness, maybe a silly Ipswich red card would make things exciting right at the end. So I thought I was going to say it's the royal team, and I am like the king of FM. I mean, I would never describe myself as the king of FM. The jester, the fool. If I was to play any part within a royal court, it would most definitely be one of the underlings. Actually, I wouldn't mind being the official taster. You know, the guy that tests the food to make sure that it's not poisoned. I would be quite happy to go out tasting poisoned food. That's a job I would happily do. At which point, maybe we should bring the monarchy back in full swing. Our shooting has not been good enough. I agree with that. Del Suze gets his chance back. Here we go, into the second half. Let's be fair. 0-0 suits us absolutely fine. This is the 1st of May, a holiday for you lot as well. So we have May Day, which is the first Monday in May. So that will be the 4th. This Monday coming up is a holiday. I won't have a holiday. I'll be working, unfortunately. And then we also have the last Monday in Del Suze. Oh. We also have the last Monday in May as a bank holiday as well, because we're lazy and it's wonderful. Derby are 1-0 up now. Nice. By the way, thank you for the follow, World of Warcraft. Much appreciated, my dude. RJ, you've got thunderstorm arriving in about 2 hours. 8 millimeters of water. I mean, that's quite a bit for May, I suppose. But I do love a thunderstorm. The way that it like cleanses the air. Oh no, what a horrible ball to give away. Linger gets a yellow card. It's a great foul from Linger. Absolutely brilliant foul from Linger. But they could still score from this free kick. Engen's going to step over it. Takes it off the underside of the bar. We get it clear. But it's... no, okay, nothing's happening now. They're just going to pass it around on the edge of the box. We have got away with one there. We are, though. Linger, he's done a brilliant job. I'm very, very proud of him for getting that yellow card and making sure that they couldn't go through on goal, but we're still going to take him off. We have been absolutely shite. Here we go. Here's Pine Cole on the left wing now. Here, Foyle can't make the tackle stick. And we're going to keep on coming. This time with Robert. Robert with a cheeky little flick in. And here's Lundqvist. And that's another one that's off the bar. I thought Chang Anderson maybe got a hand to it. He didn't. I think we will try once more going... Let's go further. Let's go to attacking. Let's bring off poor young Svensson and Johansson. Let's see if we can just... I mean, a highlight would be nice, right? Just a highlight. Yeah, that financial backing brings you up to the championship, not up to the... I mean, it looks like it's certainly working for them. I mean, they might have had optimistic feelings that they could go further in the first season. But the fact that they're even in the playoff question is crazy. Villa is pretty good now. I mean, not in the big six, but still good Premier League team. You're a Marseille fan since a kid, and we suffer a lot, especially this year. I mean, the De Zerbi situation has certainly been quite a crazy thing to see unfold. Right, let's demand more. 20 minutes to go. Again, I've said a draw does do us what we need. Johnson would like Millwall to get promoted. Zerachel misses muster fouls. Now it's all wins. That's what next season is for. We will be failing on a regular basis. I mean, to be fair, we won... Oh, Portgren! Oh, we did win. Was it 3 titles with Orland? With Mariaham. We never quite won it with... Oh, Tustin, Noah! That's better. This is better. I'm right, hands off. Let them cook. We've had a couple of chances in very, very quick succession. Let's see if they can do something. Since Pochettino gone, it's clear that Spurs are downgrading. I mean, Spurs have really, really struggled. And it's not for a lack of trying. I know there's been a lot of criticism of their transfer. Oh, Del Suze, that should have been the goal. It's a lovely, his first touch was absolutely beautiful. Just couldn't quite steer it past the keeper into that bottom corner. Like Spurs, when they signed Mickey van der Ven, and like his first few months, everyone was like, this is an amazing sign. People talk about Romero being a great signing. They've struggled with injuries. They've struggled with injuries a lot over the last few seasons. As Larson sends it in, Farborg doesn't challenge for it. But we send it forwards once again. Del Suze with the header. And that's a great save from Jesper Jepsen Jakob. Porsgrun's going to take that corner. He's going to swing it in with his right foot. He's going to swing it in rather low, and it's easily cleared. Here's our striker, Stojanovic. And then we're just gonna tease it around. Now can Del Suze get past his man? He can indeed. Del Suze swings it in. Farborg. Ooh, almost. Welcome in, Mike. Lovely to see. How's Charles Bronson FC going? We're going all right. Charles Bronson. I have found people who pronounce it as Brønshøj. So Brønshøj it will be from now on. We are hoping to hold on. We are currently needing just 1 point to win the title. We have secured automatic promotion. This is the final game of the season as Kjola rises and heads it over the bar. May the 4th be with you in advance. Exactly. Well, so good to see a buyer for Sheffield Wednesday announced. Apparently a multi-club with leagues Le Havre and Cancun. I can't be too enthusiastic about the multi-club thing, but it is good that Sheffield Wednesday have a buyer. I really hope there will be some clemency in terms of points deductions for next season. It feels very, very unfair for the club to be punished for the actions of a owner that is no longer there. So you just got back from Sainsbury's. Can tell it's a bank holiday, packed with people buying barbecue stuff. You just got the meal deal, so it's in and out. I mean, that is a bold decision to go into a supermarket for a meal deal on a Saturday. I'd be like, I couldn't be arsed with all the people there. Here we go, Larson sends it across. Del Suze, get in.
Goals for Brønshøj, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's Brønshøj who scores goals, it's the goals for Brønshøj. Always should be someone you really love.
There we go. That is surely we can concede a goal now and still win the title. Oh, come on. So World Warcraft feels to me like losing in the Champions League broke the club. Doubtful it was that, but it felt like a proper turning point for them. Certainly, if you were to think of a sliding doors moment, it does feel that kind of over that period since, it's been downhill for sure. Tottenham have always struggled with injuries. I mean, the Darren Anderton. In fact, that's the next comment there. Yeah, Darren Anderton, the famous sick note, right? Coritiba are surprisingly 7th in Serie A right now. I don't know if you'll stay there, but I'll take any place above the relegation zone. I mean, Coritiba have been great this season, haven't they, so far? There's been a couple of really, really big results. And as you say, I don't know if you'll hold on. I don't know why you wouldn't hold on to it. Brazil seems to be crazy, whereby none of the teams ever do as expected. Half the teams you think that are going to challenge for the title end up in relegation battles. Half the teams that you think are going to be relegated end up in like the top 6. So maybe. Hull are 1-0 down, so Derby are in 6th. Wrexham 7th, Hull 8th as it stands. Ooh, getting that's nice and tight. Spurs have a lot of gems, Van der Ven, Vuskovic, Gray, Bergwijn. Maybe they will succeed with them. Hopefully, at least in the championship. Hibernian have good youth. So we've got, any team suggestions for an Ajax type of save with youth being the key to success? Yep, Hibs are a great shout. Hajduk, Saint Etienne. I think a team like Southampton as well have historically had a very, very successful academy. Currently, obviously, down in the championship, so you need to establish yourself back up at the top division, deal with the challenges of the financial weight of the Premier League. So Southampton would probably be the team I'd recommend. You won 2-0 with 2 shots. That's all you need. Hull have equalised. It is hotting up. So RJ, as a Belgian, Vertonghen, Alderweireld and Dembele all had their share of injuries. Didn't they just? A suggestion for Admira Wacker. Envigado in Colombia as well. Envigado were one of the teams I considered for this stream save as well. I'd sorted out all the thumbnails for it, and they looked really bad. Stojanovic raises for the header. That is surely us as champions. Show me a trophy lift. Show me the trophy lift. I assume I don't know if we get. I genuinely don't know if we get one down at this level, which is why I'm waiting to see it. Yes, here we go. We're champions! Boom! Well, I didn't want us to get promoted, but I am going to still celebrate, because if we are going to get promoted, we might as well do it as champions in our first season, where we haven't been able to do anything with the tactics whatsoever, or change the squad in any way whatsoever. There we go. There is our hipster bastard manager. I've even got the glasses almost for it. Almost for it. There we go. But I'm short-sighted, so putting them on whilst I'm using a computer is a really, really dumb idea. There we go. There we go. Some sensational stuff. We are top of the league. FA 2000 were held to a draw. Vagueyard lost, so we actually ended up 6 points clear. We got what we came for, and we should be delighted with that. Incredible stuff. We've won. We are the champions. We are the champions. We've won the fucking league. We've only gone and won the fucking league. And we've done it courtesy of an absolutely incredible defense. I mean, to be fair, we also scored 43 goals, so we have a pretty decent attack as well by the standard of the league. But just 21 goals conceded in 32 games. We are champions. Media prediction had us down in 5th. So we've done pretty damn well. Pretty damn well. So Passport, you played a season with Envigado after beta, but honestly, you couldn't become financially viable. That's always going to be the struggle there, for sure. So what Allcroft, I'm getting good youth prospects at Southampton women as well, but I have no idea how to go from here. At the end of the season, I have a bloated squad with a bunch of youth players who look like they'll be great in a few years, but are National League standard right now. I mean, that is... I found with the Durham save that I've got going on is that the newly promoted teams into the WSL 2 are great for loans, because they are normally National League standard players. You can send your youth players out on loan to them, get them game experience, whilst you focus on in the short term on making sure you've got enough to be competitive. There we go. Look at the supporters. They love me. They love me. I've done absolutely nothing. It's all been my assistant manager, and he's going to be retiring. We saw a crowd of 600 attend, and the general feeling was that the exciting match experience, there weren't really that many. Actually, we got really good in the second half. Helped make the event a success and might have lasting effect. What more can we ask for? What more can we ask for? So controversial question. How is FM26 since its initial launch? You refunded after 10 minutes. I'm still enjoying that. I enjoyed the game since I've had it. I find it a lot of fun. So I'm probably not, I can't answer that one potentially, because I've always thought that it's not the greatest game in the oeuvre of FMs or Championship managers, but I still think it's a very good game all along. Let's do who is the Ogo. We need to get another little vote out here, and we've got 4 players to choose from. We've got Eusebio. We've got Samuel Eto'o. We've got Christian Eriksen, whose name I can't spell there. That's better. And we've got Edison. So I'm going to pop that out to vote. I want to know who is the greatest player with E. These are the nominations that have been put forward during the course of the stream. YouTube, your poll is going to come up in a couple of seconds, because I need to type it out there as well. Eusebio, Samuel Eto'o, Christian Eriksen, and Ederson. Get your votes in. I know everyone's going for Eusebio so far, but we've had some controversial decisions made a little bit earlier with Del Piero beating out Di Stefano. So I've got some hope. I've got some hope yet for Eto, that's for sure. So champions of Camperbet 3rd Division, you'll never sing that. Exactly. The goalkeeper coach is the MVP, yeah. So when I say it's the assistant manager, it has actually been Mr. Villefort, Casper Villefort. We've been using, he likes swing play, he likes a 4-2-3-1, it becomes a 4-4-1-1. So we've just been using that. The default instructions, the default roles, that's what he told me. Look at his face. You trust that man. You would trust that man with your life. You would trust that man with the life of your wife. You would trust that man with the life of your children. You would trust that man with the life of your grandparents. I don't think I'd want him to look after my cat, though. I don't know. I don't feel like he likes cats. It's unfair, but I don't trust him with my cat. But everyone else, I trust him with. What am I talking about? I deserve at least 2.75% of the price. Not even that, to be honest. So first season in the WSL after promotion came 6th, so ain't that bad. Just want to bring through the youthers. I mean, that's the... So, I mean, I'm going to have the Durham video out hopefully on Monday. And so that's season 5. And we're finally getting some of our youth into the starting lineup, or at least into the matchday squads and playing a reasonable number of games. It's very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. Welcome in, by the way, Smokaya. Thank you very much for the follow. So if you want strong rules with the players you have, then Peru, the bolstered minutes are the rules where you have to play a certain amount of minutes over the course of the season, or you get points deductions. It is quite fun for sure. FM26 is very much over criticised for Warcraft. There's been worse FMs for sure, and it has a lot of potential to kick on. Yeah. You said it far more succinctly than I ever could. Missing the GOAT Ilano. He's going to break through any season now. I love Ilano. And I think it's because of FM. I think it's playing a Shakhtar save around, must have been maybe 2008. And yeah, Ilano at the tip of the midfield. Oh, what an incredible player. No Chris Eagles, I'm afraid to say. There is no Chris Eagles. You reckon that man would steal your wife and children? You better hide your wife. Hide your children. I am having nothing bad said about Casper Villefort. Casper Villefort is my man. I assume his contract's about to expire. It is in 2 weeks. We've got to work out. I've got to work out what we're doing with staff when it comes to this. So this is going to be. We've got a lot to come up in the summer. Chris Seagulls. Who doesn't love a bit of Chris Seagulls? We're going to have him as an S. Try and remember that for when we eventually reach S, because I will have forgotten for sure. So Gaming Fishy, welcome in. Lovely to see you. Your timing is either good or bad. The season is over. We have just won the league. I didn't want us to get promoted, but we did anyway. What happens with these guys? I didn't pay attention to that. Look at this. FA2000 and Vanguard for the final promotion spot. Same for, same against, same points. There's no information there about tiebreakers. Oh, promotion stage, second place. So there's another game coming up here. Interesting. We've got a playoff for the other team to be promoted. We obviously want it to be FA2000 so that every time we play them away from home, I can sing, "Let's all meet up at FA2000. I still haven't thought ahead to think what the word should be here. La 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 la, 30 years ago." Sorry, I get carried away. So, well, Smithy, before looking for a cheaper deal on FM26, play the demo. And there is a free, assuming you're on PC, Steam has a free demo. They always have a free demo. So you can play the first 6 months of a season and see whether you feel like it's improved enough for you. Welcome in, Rich. Lovely to see you. The e-vote is going on. As you can see, we've got Eusebio Samuel Eto'o, Christian Eriksen, or Ederson up on the list there. And it is currently quite clearly going in Eusebio's favour. He currently holds 15 votes, with Eto'o behind on 4. Eriksen and Ederson share just 1 vote apiece. So Veggie, your brother is at Vegard as we speak. Awesome. Does that mean was he there recently? Is he? If we go and look through the players here, I don't need you to tell me who your brother is. I don't want to out your name or anything like that. But if I have a list of players here, is your brother in this list? Because, you know, we can quite happily sign him as well. But again, that would out your name as well, so maybe not. So when do I start negotiating contracts for next season? It's going to be after the season ends, once everyone's contract is expired, basically. So for the D voters, Del Piero tied with Di Stefano, and I got the tiebreaker. They've just had a free play weekend, or it's happening with Alpha FM. It's 40% off as well. There we go. It's what we're all waiting to see how this utopian socialist experiment goes. It's going to be quite crazy indeed. He's literally there with his youth team as a coach, and he's coached for another Aalborg club. Fair enough. Awesome. That is still quite very, very cool. Very cool. So Olga, welcome in, by the way. Why Brønshøj? So about 15 years ago, they made the news for being particularly left-wing, and I wanted a left-wing club because this is an all teams equal save. So all players equal save. I can't spell it. Basically, once we start giving out new contracts, every player will have the match highest earner clause. So everybody earns exactly the same amount of money. And so Brønshøj felt like a good fit for what we're trying to do. We haven't started that though yet, because when we start the game, we have players that are already here under set contract terms. So once this season ends, which we've just got promoted, and all these players basically leave, apart from Svensson, Stojanovic and Farborg, we will then start giving out our contracts. So that's going to come up, but that's going to be next. Will it be for the next stream? So this is going to be this is going to become part of a YouTube series. So I play some of it off stream, and there's going to be like a whole narrative that's going to build around everything. So I will try. The next stream is going to be on Wednesday, actually. So yeah, next stream we're going to be going through, and we're going to be trying to put this craziness into play. I won't need to have progressed by then. It's going to be absolutely manic. I don't know if our budget is going to change for next season, but we're 200 grand in the red, which isn't great. Our wage budget here is saying 8,800 euros. Let's call that 9,000 for the sake of working it out. If we've got a first team squad of, say, 20 players, and we've got like 10 players in the youth teams, that's 30 players. 9,000 divided by 30 is 300 euros a week, is potentially all we'll be able to offer. So we'd be looking at players like Halls and Noah. We probably won't be able to bring back. Lucas Chang Anderson we probably won't be able to bring back. Lucas Killerick has been on the bench, so that's not so much of an issue. Victor Farborg is probably gone as well. Jacob Johansson we know is gone. He's on 900 euros a week. So it's going to be interesting to see what quality of player we're able to attract with such a rule in place. We're an idiot, yeah, and we're in Egypt. That's the other thing. We have no coaching badges, so we have to ask our staff everything. Am I still in the DBU Pokalen? We are not. We got knocked out. So we're in the... I assume that's the Danish Cup. I do apologise. I assume that's the Danish Cup, which has been won by Midtjylland. As I said, we're at the end of the season there, so they just won that like a couple of weeks ago, and we have just got promoted from the Campo Bet third division. Wrexham are in the playoff places, and now they're not. It's 2-2. The drama. My word. I think the smart move here is signing Haaland to a 600k a week contract. I think that sounds like a plan. I mean, technically, if we could afford to pay everyone 600k, that would be quite nice. So the votes are finally in, and let me run through them. With 1 vote overall, we have Edison in 3rd place, joint with Christian Eriksen with 1 vote. Then with 5 votes, we have Eto, and with 18 votes, Eusebio is our GOAT. Eusebio has won the title as our e-GOAT. He joins Sergio Aguero, Franz Beckenbauer, Jordi Cruyff, and Alessandro Del Piero on the Hall of Fame. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. The alphabet GOAT home. Right, and that is where we're going to end the stream. Now, as I said, I will be back on Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. British summertime. So 12. That's midday Central European time. That's like 6 a.m. Pacific Eastern Standard Time in America. I can't imagine anyone's getting up at 6 a.m. to watch that. But if you want to pop on over, I've popped should hopefully have popped the Discord link in there. There I'll put the updates for the schedules and things over the week. We've got video coming out on Monday, which should be awesome. And yeah, that's going to be it. Now, I'm going to raid out over on Twitch. So YouTube, thank you guys very much for coming along. Really, really been a pleasure to see you all. I'm going to end the stream there first, and hopefully I'll see you guys on Wednesday. And then over on Twitch,